Hey YouTube, how's it going? I want to do a hip-hop album today. A hip-hop album I think people who aren't fans of hip-hop would probably enjoy, or if you are a fan of hip-hop, you probably like it too. It's one of those albums that kind of, you know, blurs the lines between rap and not rap music and shit like that, so people who aren't fans of hip-hop could probably use this as a stepping stone to probably get into it, understand it a little better. Saul Williams, self-titled album, his second album, released in 2004 on Fader Records. And it's definitely not your typical hip-hop album at all. It's got elements of industrial, elements of metal, elements of, like, you know, classical piano, elements of, like, Prodigy, electrical beats and stuff. It's got it's very self-conscious, like politically motivated rap. Saul Williams is a guy from Newsburg, New York. He's got a master's degree in acting. He's a screenwriter, beat poet. He's got a start in the scene being a beat poetry reader. He'd go to open mic nights and shit. He was in this awesome movie, starred in it, called Slam, about a beat poet, I guess, who gets arrested, makes friends with prisoners through, you know, poetry and, you know, speaking his mind and just having powerful messages, powerful words. And he's got great, like, his writing skills are awesome as a lyricist and stuff. And he doesn't really have a rapping kind of flow to him. He's got this kind of, like, half-sung, half-spoken, a lot of spoken word on here, some chanting. But it's all kind of like there is kind of a rhyme flow to it, but he doesn't rhyme like normally in bars or in steps or in beats like most people do. He's just kind of like stream of consciousness almost, but he's very focused. Like his first album, which was produced by Rick Rubin, Amethyst Superstar, was a lot more stream of consciousness, a little more surreal than this one is. Like his first album is out and out of space. Like he was probably high on peyote or something when he was writing that album, but this is a lot more focused, a lot more, I don't know, darker for sure. Like I said, the beats are like very, like a blend of like electric guitars and like drum beats, reminiscent of like Prodigy, but there's also like, the first song's got Serge Tankian from System of a Down playing piano on it and stuff. But yeah, one of the producers actually, his name is Stavius Beck, and I checked out some of his stuff, and he does all this left field ambient hip-hop shit, and he's got 2 albums of his own that I just listened to snippets to, and I really, really liked it, so I ordered both of his albums. Stavius Beck. I'll be doing reviews on him in the future, probably. But yeah, it's not typical hip-hop at all. Like, it's kind of rock and roll. Like, I don't know. Saul Williams' voice kind of reminds me of Chuck D or maybe Zach de la Rocha, if they could, like, combine their DNA, if they spliced it and integrated it. Kind of sounds like that. Like, he's not preachy, he's not so political and, you know, urgent that he's preachy about anything too. Like, he does have a serious side, but there's also a fun side to him too. Like it's not such a, like, a downer, like, oh, you know, the war in Iraq. Like, it's not, the message of the album is not, it's not overbearing, it won't weigh it down or anything. He's also, like, some of my favorite tracks on here about the state of hip-hop and stuff, and, like, he's pretty much, this album's pretty much a slap in the face to, like, you know, people who think hip-hop's all about guns and selling coke and bitches and, you know, killing and murdering and whatever, all, like, goonery you have. The only songs I didn't really like on here are just kind of like the African student movement and Black Stacey, which is talking about, you know, black people and, like, you know, Malcolm X type shit, and like Black Stacey's about him being in high school and having a crush on this girl, but I guess she wanted nothing to do with him, and the whole song's about being too black and stuff. Like, it's cool songs, I guess. It's kind of dark and sad, but I couldn't really relate to it or anything, but I don't know. Like, there's tons of good songs in here. There's a lot of, like, cool surreal lyrics and shit. Poetic hardcore is what one website described it as. Picture of Saul right there, picture of monkeys. Yeah, there's lyrics too, so you can actually check out what he's talking about. It's kind of helpful, but yeah, he's very intelligent. He's got a kind of an urgency to his vocals. Yeah, like I said, it's not typical hip-hop at all. Like, it's got lots of heavy guitars and drums, and it's got great production too. He really came into focus on this album. He has an album that came out after this too called The Rise and Fall of Niggy Tardas, which is, I don't know how you hooked up with Trent Reznor, but Trent Reznor made all the hip-hop beats for it. I don't know whose idea it was to get Trent Reznor to produce a hip-hop album, but actually it turned out okay. I don't like it nearly as much as I like this album, but yeah, Saul Williams, 2004, Fader Records. It's very direct, like, I don't know. I really like it. It's got variety of beats on here. Some beats, like I said, had the drum beats, electrical guitar, but then the other ones have the piano, something that sounds like a pan flute. It goes from like very dense and dark to like, you know, sparse and flinty and stuff. Like it's pretty cool. I like the variety on here. I like how it's intelligent, how it stimulates, you know, stimulates your brain a little bit. I actually own his movie Slam, but I couldn't find it. I think I lent it out a while ago and never got it back. I don't really remember who I lent it out to, but probably some chick. Yeah, I think that's it. 2004 self-titled album, Frantic Records, Saul Williams, check him out.